Shurima is a huge desert located at the southern part of Valorant. The lore of Shurima was changed in September 2014 with the event of Azir. The brothers, Nasus and Renekton, who were animalistic creatures from a distant world outside from Runeterra, changed to legendary warriors of ancient Shurima. Xerath, who became the Ascended by his own will, was changed to a traitor who took Azir's ritual and gained the arcane power. Cassiopeia, who originally became a monster by the sword of a Freljordian diplomat, was changed that she was transformed by the venom of an ancient Shuriman tomb guardian. Sivir, who was first introduced in the game as a wealthy mercenary, was changed that she's a descendant of Shuriman Emperor, Azir. It's not that related to the lore of Shurima, but Asriel's magical gauntlet was procured from the ruins of ancient Shurima. Regal's Lantern, an artifact which Asriel also found, is from Kumungu, a jungle located below Shurima. Kumungu and the Plague Jungles are tough places full of dangerous creatures. The Plague Jungles is Wukong and Zyra's birthplace. And after Wukong met his lifelong friend Master Yi, he joined the League as Ionian Sight. Zyra was once an ancient dying plant, but she took the body of an unwary sorceress and became what she is now. Nidalee is also from Kumungu, and when she was traveling the jungle with her treasure-seeking parents, her parents died of a mysterious and vicious disease. She was taken in by a family of cougars and raised as one of their own. She grew and somehow absorbed the raw magic of the dense wilds, evolving beyond both her human physiology and her feline affectation. Nidalee battles viciously with tooth and nail against any who would threaten the vast jungle she calls home. In addition, Kumungu is where Teemo gathers mushrooms and the poison he uses for his darts. Acathia is a lost city in the southwest part of Valorant, and the only two living individuals to have been to Acathia are Kassadin and Malzahar. In Acathia, they both saw the prophecy saying that Runeterra will suffer from a terrible disaster caused by the invasion of the Void in the future. The Void is a nightmarish dimension that exists outside space and time. In Cho'Gath's biography, a long time ago, the Voidborn invaded other worlds and threatened throughout Runeterra, but were driven from Runeterra by powerful magic. Even now, the Voidborn are poking at the walls that divide dimensions for a crack, a way into Runeterra. The Baron Nashor is also a creature from Void. Champion skins are the main source of Riot's revenue, and skins are categorized into one of several tiers: Classic, Royal, Epic, Imperial, Legendary, and Ultimate. Of course, some are only available for a limited time, with a very select few being unobtainable aside from the time they were first released. Among all limited skins, some are especially rare. First, King Rammus. The only way to get this Mario-inspired skin was to participate in the closed beta of League of Legends. Human Rise is one of the 4 Collector's Edition skins that was only available through pre-order. The other Collector's Edition skins are Black Alistar, Silver Kayle, and Goth Annie. But the Annie skin has been made available for purchase since then, unlike the others. Next, Seasonal Play Rewards. Judgment Kayle was given to players who competed in at least 10 games in Season 1. The art style, particularly the shoulder pads, were a reference to the popular UK comic book character Judge Dredd. Prince Jarvan Lightshield IV, the exemplar of Demacia, had the Victoria skin created as a reward to players who achieved gold or better status in 2011 Season 1 ranked letter. In the following years, Victoria's skins were crafted for Janna, Morgana, Sivir, and Elise. Originally created as a normal skin, Championship Ribbon was instead used in honor of 2012 Season 2 World Championships. The ice blue lava design was inspired by Indonesia's Kawaiian volcano, which contains large amounts of pure sulfur, giving it a distinct bluish coloring. Other championship skins include Kalista, Thresh, and Shyvana. Next, limited edition convention code skins. League of Legends had just launched, and in PAX 2009, Riot handed out cards with a special skin for Twisted Fate that only PAX attendees could get. At that time, not many people played the now immensely popular game. As a result, this skin is extremely rare, and PAX Twisted Fate is seen rarely in-game, whereas most players never have seen the skin in-game. The next year, 2010, Riot rolled out the PAX Jax code to hand out to con-goers. This time, Riot modeled the skin after the cardboard tube samurai from the Penny Arcade comic, which is the sponsor of the annual gaming convention. PAX Jax skin has only ever been given out at PAX events and has never been sold in the in-game store. The final PAX skin came in 2011 and paid homage to the Tron movies, with a console directional pad replacing Sivir's crossblade. PAX skin codes sold for insane amounts of money on eBay for a few years, until Riot disabled the ability for these codes to be redeemed in-game. Similar to the PAX codes, the Riot Squad Singed skin code was handed out by Riot. It was first gifted at the Gamescom and other events that Riot Games attends, such as PAX and E3. The rest of the rare skins are UFO Corky. This is the first legendary skin completed by Riot and was granted to all players who had signed up for League of Legends before January 14, 2010. Orf Warwick. This skin was a April's Fool, stating that Warwick had flayed Orf and made him into a costume. This skin was priced first at 5,000 RP, then 50 RP, and eventually ending up at 500 RP. Riot donated all money made to a foundation protecting manatees. This is one of the rarest skins around, simply because it has not been possible to get unless you played before April 2010. Later, April Fool's skins include Orf Nami and this year, Orf Kench. Lastly, Rusty Blitzcrank. This skin has the honor of being the only one to ever be pulled from the store for its low quality. It's virtually identical to the base skin, just tinted darker. Riot was very unhappy with it and took it down from sale in 2010, never to be seen again. Names of some champions have meanings or origins. Zillion, Volibear, Ziggs, and Azrael's names respectively come from these Riot's game designers: Tom Zillius Cadwell, Travis Volibear George, Joseph Ziegler, and Colt Azrael Helm. Tryndamere was named after Riot CEO Mark Tryndamere Merrill's EverQuest character. Tryndamere is also Merrill's forum and summoner name. Tryndamere was made directly from a picture of Mark Merrill wearing a kilt. Ash was named after Mark Merrill's wife, Ashley, and the two married in-game. Rise's name comes from Riot CEO Brendan Risebeck's alias. Nunu was named after Steve Grinsevik's dog. Annie and Tiburce's names respectively come from a Riot's gameplay producer's girlfriend and her favorite teddy bear. Blitzcrank is the amalgamation of two words. Blitz is German for lightning. A crank is an arm attached to a rotating shaft in turn attached to a circular piece that is to be rotated. Diana's name references the eponymous Roman moon goddess. Yorick was named after the deceased court jester from Hamlet by William Shakespeare. His surname Mori references the Latin phrase memento mori, be mindful of dying, befitting his association with death and lost souls. Ram is possibly placed on English verb ram and Latin masculine suffix us. Riven literally means torn apart, and Riven the Exile might be referencing mist. Hecarim is an anagram of Chimera of Greek mythology, befitting his half-man, half-horse appearance. Singed is an anagram for design since he was the first champion besides the initial ones to be designed. Sheko is an anagram for chaos. Maokai is an anagram for I am Oak. Amumu's name is a pun on a mummy. There are currently 138 released champions, with the latest being Ornn, the fire below the mountain. Unfortunately, however, some champions never made it through the whole process and ended up being scrapped. There are various reasons why champions are scrapped. Sometimes the theme of the champion doesn't match the game, and sometimes there are numerous copyright issues stopping Riot from progressing. Although many of these champions were never made, a large number of them served as inspiration for champions that are in the game today. Here are some of cancelled champions that never made it past the development phase. First, Everdrian. He was supposed to use his abilities through the power of his mind. A coffin with his body was seen on 2010 Harrowing map, which many interpreted as mean he was cancelled. His skill, Astral Beam's icon is currently Hand Barons, a team-wide buff obtained by slaying Baron Nashor. Gavit the Plant King was cancelled because he didn't fit with the game's artistic theme. It was rumored that he was later redesigned as Maokai, but looking at the names of his data mine skills and abilities, it is also likely that Zyra was in some way based on this champion. In the 2010 Harrowing event, Gavit also made his appearance on the Fields of Justice, dead in a coffin. Omen was a quadruped demon-like creature with a sinister smile and several spikes on his back. Omen had plenty of design issues that Riot just couldn't figure out. And the main problem was that no one at Riot was sure if he was a melee or a ranged DPS character, so he had to remain in development for a while. After a while, Riot realized they weren't making any progress on him and had to scrap him halfway through the development cycle. This meant Riot were missing a new champion for the latest patch and had to postpone the patch while they developed a new champion. So instead, Riven was released in this place. Taboo was probably based on Zarvako, the witch doctor from Dota 2, but it seems that for some reason, he did not make the cut and was never introduced to the game as a playable champion. It is speculated that he may have been reworked into a champion that we know today as Swain. He did also make an appearance during the 2010 Harrowing event, dead in a coffin. Well, the Hydrasol was nothing more but a rumor, but on his abilities, we can find some reusings. He was reworked into Jenna and Nami. Priscilla the Spider Queen initially got shelved, but her concept was later used for Elise the Spider Queen that was released for the Harrowing event in 2012. There were speculations that this champion was used as the basis for Urgot, due to the similarities in some of the art assets, but this rumor was debunked later. In 2011, a new item, Priscilla's Blessing, was released on the Dominion map. Obviously, she's the origin of the name, but it was removed shortly after. Rob Blackblade was pulled because he didn't fit with the game's artistic theme, and the design team didn't get any inspiration from him. No aspect of Rob was deemed worthy of keeping, so he was scrapped and his place in the development cycle was filled by the champion that eventually became Udyr. In 2013, rumors spread that Riot were planning to release a dragon champion, the first of its kind in the game. There was much speculation on the name and abilities of the champion until Riot finally announced the champion, Aoshin, was in development on their website. Fans were super excited when they heard the news and couldn't wait to play him in-game. As the years went on, fans became increasingly frustrated due to various delays and problems with the champion. Eventually, after nearly 3 years in development, Aoshin was axed and never got to see Summoner's Rift. But in his place, a new dragon champion named Aurelion Sol became his successor. Based on a space theme, Sol shared the same dragon concept but had a new theme that Riot thought fit well with the game. Aurelion Sol was eventually released in early 2016 and has been via newborn stars all over Summoner's Rift ever since. Aoshin may have been cancelled, but at least players got the dragon champion they have always wanted. Finally, Orf, the manatee. Sometimes Riot tried to have a joke with players, but things can quickly backfire. Orf the Manatee was originally conceived as a 2010 April Fool's joke, with Riot releasing the champion's lore and intended abilities. With so much detail released about the champion, it was kind of hard to brush it off as an April Fool's joke. It was shortly after the announcement that players realized Riot had no intention of ever releasing the champion and players were not happy. Hundreds of players protested on the League of Legends forums demanding that Orf was released and brought to Summoner's Rift. Riot didn't want to release a new champion, but had a cunning plan to make him a League of Legends gag. They told players that during the development, Orf was killed by Warwick, and there was no way he could be released as a champion. Released at the appropriate time of April 1st, Orf Warwick became a highly popular skin after setting the record for the most expensive and cheapest skin available.